What's up, everybody? I'm Slot, a movie guy. Here's where I rank all 4 Evil Dead films from the worst to the best. And by the end of this video, let me know in the comment section down below where you rank all 4 Evil Dead films from the worst to the best, because my list is going to be very different from yours. From 4, 3, 2, 1. We going to have different opinions, so there's not like a right or wrong here when it comes to this. And with these films, I just love every film out of this franchise, man. From the trilogy to the remake, all of them to me are very unique in their own style. There's not like one I really completely hate, like I might have issues with it. I love to watch all these films on the month of October. They just so fun to watch, and I rewatch them sometimes on Halloween. They're just so much fun to watch, man, and I just enjoy every minute of these films, and can't wait to get to my ranking. And with all that being said, let's just get started. Army of Darkness. Now, this film I know is at number 4, and I know a lot of people love this film. I adore this film. I watched this like countless times during high school, like even now in the month of October. I love this film. I just watches it. It's just so much fun. And the one things I love about it is that Sam Raimi just took like a different approach with this movie. He did something totally fresh from the first 2 films. Have Ash in medieval days and stuff, just fighting a bunch of skeleton army people, the dead and everything. And it was just so fun to watch it. The comedy is just so funny here. The Sam Raimi comedy that you see in his films and stuff, it really works here. And Ash and then the battles and stuff with the chainsaw, it just absolutely incredible on so many levels. Everything about this film, we have Bruce Campbell giving like one-liners as Ash and stuff, and everything is so good. This is like a nostalgia for me, man. I just love every minute about this film, man. Everything about it. It feels totally fresh. That's the thing I love about it. From the first 2 films where we have them like in the cabin and stuff, this one just, like I said, in the medieval days, it feels so fresh. Does it have issues? Yeah. So one of the issues I did have with it is some of the CGI effects when it came to like the skeleton people and stuff like that, and certain things doesn't age well and stuff. So that part, when I like rewatch it as an adult, it just kind of like it doesn't hold up. It just something about it. I was like, don't look good. But hey, that's one of my only nitpicks about it. Overall, it's a fun movie. I recommend you watching this on Halloween or on a summer day if you have nothing to do. This is a fun film to watch from start to finish. The slapstick comedy, everything about it. It just have all the Sam Raimi flavor in here, and I just love every minute about this film, and I highly recommend you checking this out if you haven't seen it yet. Evil Dead 2013, the remake. Wow. This film, I remember coming out in 2013. I was just so skeptical about it because it was just like, it was a remake, and usually horror films are not as good when they're remakes. I mean, prime examples, we're not going to talk about those, but man, this one I remember, and I was just like, didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to be good or not. And I went to the movie theater, and I remember leaving out like blown away. Whew, I was just like utter shocked, man. I was just like so shocked. I mean, as good as it was, man, it just was so good as the first 2 Evil Dead films, man. I just had a blast watching this film. And thanks to the director, Fede, Álvarez, he did a fantastic job directing this film, man. And the one thing I like about it is it's so bloody and gory, man. Oh, and it was executed properly with the story and stuff in this film. It just does so well with it. I mean, it does capture the same approach as like the first film. A little bit, have some of the same elements. If you watch the film, watch the original and watch this film, you'll see what I'm talking about. It just has some of the same elements, but does a little bit things very different. And it just works on so many levels, man. It felt so much like a horror movie. It didn't go for the comedy like the original Evil Dead films. It just was on its own, and I loved everything about it. It just wasn't afraid to do that. And that was just something I had a smile on my face watching this film. Oh, man, let me talk more about the blood and gore, man. It does not hold back. If a horror film just doesn't hold back on the blood and gore, that just makes me even more happy, man. It just gave me so much chills and goosebumps in this film, man. Oh man, it just felt so visceral. It just like think everything about it is just like hands getting chopped off, nails, everything. Oh, just gives me all the chills down on my spine right now just thinking about it, man. I just watched it just recently. It works on so many levels, man. Oh, it just keeps you guessing like who's going to make it out of here, because it's not like one character was like a standout, and it was just I didn't know who was going to survive when this cabin where all the evil dead demons are coming out, just attacking them and stuff. It just kept you guessing, kept it suspense, everything about it. It was just absolutely one of the best horror remakes in recent years, man. Oh, I love this film, man. It is so fantastic. One of the elements I will say the things I did have a nitpick with was some of one of like two characters that really I didn't really gravitate to. The other characters I did, but there was like two of them I didn't. It was I think one of the two girls that's involved in the film. They were okay. I didn't like gravitate to them. But overall, this is a film I highly recommend you checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. Evil Dead Remake is one of the best horror remakes. Check this out, definitely. The Evil Dead 1981, the film that started it all. Woo! I love this film. Man, I was already a big Sam Raimi fan with the first two Spider-Man films, but this one, I was just like, wow, I am a Sam Raimi fan. This film, I remember watching it in middle school for like the first time and stuff when it was getting close to Halloween, and I was like trying to look for a horror film. And when I picked this up on DVD and watched it, I was just so blown away. I was just like, wow, this is a great Sam Raimi horror flick, man. I just enjoyed everything about it, man. One of the things I love about it is the camera work in this movie. I mean, this camera work is just so phenomenal on so many levels. There's one particular part where like Bruce Campbell's was on top of the camera when he twirls around. I just don't know how Sam Raimi pulled it off. The camera work, it was just that good, man. I'm just speechless. How does he do it? I mean, I would really love to go to Sam Raimi and ask, how do you do it, man? It was just everything about it with the sound effects, everything, the story where we see teenagers going to this cabin and stuff, and things they reawaken the dead and stuff with the reading the book. Everything about it really works on so many levels. It was just kind of creepy and unsettling at the same time watching it with that little comedy in the movie, which I say the comedy is a little bit funny. There were some parts that I found very funny in this movie, and it doesn't take itself serious. It knows what it's doing. It knows what it's going for, and I loved every minute of this film, man. Man, everything works about it. Bruce Campbell as Ash, where we see is one of the most iconic characters, man, and just seeing him getting thrown and getting the stunts and stuff getting thrown to the bookshelves and everything and stuff while the dead reawakes and stuff like that. It just really works on so many levels. And Bruce Campbell, it's like he was just meant to be in this role, man. He was just so good. Everything about it. There were some scenes that just gave me goosebumps. I mean, especially when a girl's looking in the window with the card game and stuff, and she turned her face. I was like, whoa. As the first time I watched it, it just creeped me out on so many levels. Everything about it, the blood and gore works, and this is where I was just like, woo, yes. The blood and gore, it really works. The practical effects, everything about this film. It was just like the first film that just felt so original, and I still love it still to this day. I rewatched it just recently. I loved it. Everything about it works on so many levels. This one, I really felt like Sam Raimi had a lot of fun with this film, especially with Bruce Campbell and stuff, doing all the stunts and stuff like that. Everything about this film is just spectacular. I recommend this film if you haven't seen it yet. Evil Dead 2 or Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn 1987 is my number one favorite Evil Dead film. Woo! Oh, I couldn't wait to get to number one. I love this film. This is one of my favorite horror slash comic films to watch on Halloween and stuff. Man, this film just, this is just absolutely one of the films I watched like the first time when I was in middle school and stuff and like that. And it just, I was just so amazed, man. And it's just one of the films I feel like is just better than the original. Where we have these debates like as movie fans say which sequel is better than the original. I feel like this deserves to be like in the top 5 of sequels that is better than the original. This just has everything in here. I mean, it doubles down. Sam Raimi went full with it. The comedy, the horror, the blood and gore, everything, man. Oh, this was just so good. The practical effects, everything about this movie works, and it has the same elements as the first movie, but it doubles down on it. It's 10 times better, man. It's just so good. I still love the first one. I think the sequel and the original is just like kind of here, but the sequel is just a little bit up here. The comedy in this movie just really works here, and I loved it. It works for me. I think that might bother people because they look for more of that horror. If you're not into the comedy horror, then this movie might not work for you. For me, it works, and if you love stuff like that, this movie will give you everything, man. This is a treat, man. I love everything about it. Bruce Campbell as Ash is just so good in this movie, man. I love everything about his character, man, in this film. Him going through the same scenarios, just like the first film, trying to survive through this cabin of the Evil Dead. And this film just does something totally different, where his hand is becoming like the Evil Dead and stuff. He had to chop it off and put the chainsaw on it, and it just works, man. Him with the chainsaw, I just love it. It's became so iconic. I want to get the action figure of it so badly. I don't have it yet, but man, I just love it. And him just shaving down the gun and stuff and twirling all around, saying groovy. Oh, I love it, man. Everything about it. One of my favorite scenes out of Evil Dead 2 is where he looks up to the head of the deer and stuff turning and is laughing. And all the stuff, the light bulb, everything, all the bookshelves, everything's laughing. And Bruce Campbell in that scene, just one of the most iconic scenes. Oh, it was just so good. Evil Dead 2 is just one of those horror films I find just fun. Everything about it. It's just fantastic. And really, and by the end of the movie, it really leads on to the Army of Darkness very well. I'm not going to get any spoilers. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it just leads into Army of Darkness very well. One of the best out of the Evil Dead trilogies. Sam Raimi just went full with it, and I really, really love it. It just have all the Sam Raimi elements here. And what I love about it is that Sam Raimi used that Evil Dead elements to Spider-Man 2, which I love. All that hospital scene in Spider-Man 2, he does it very well, and that's what I love about Sam Raimi. He's just one of those directors that I just make me want to like direct a horror film with his style and stuff. It's just like to have fun with the horror films. He just goes with it. Whatever the horror, I'll watch any horror film with Sam Raimi any day, man. He just does a fantastic job with this film, and I love it, and that's why it's my #1 favorite Evil Dead film, and that's pretty much it. And like I said in the beginning of this video, let me know in the comment section down below where you rank all the 4 Evil Dead films from the worst to the best. Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Your thoughts and opinions about each of the films I mentioned and stuff, or your favorite film, which one's your favorite. Anything in the comment section, I'll love to know. And that's pretty much it. And as always, if you like this video, click thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, click subscribe and the bell button for more future content. That's all I can see you next time on Slide the Movie Guy. Peace.